There's a mirror on that table for Terry. That table over there. Screen was going to block them.
Welcome to College Street. Welcome to the 2010 Edgecliff Presentation Day. It's wonderful to see you all here. All being well, this time next year we'll have much more space. We'll be what's at the moment a rather muddy hole in the ground just on the other side of this wall. But next year we'll hope we'll be able to accommodate many more guests at the Edgecliff Presentation Day. But today I'm delighted to tell you that the prizes are going to be presented by our chairman, David Gonski, and to get matters underway now, here is the school captain.
Good afternoon, Mr. Gonski, Chairman of the Trustees of Sydney Grammar School. Dr. Valance, the Headmaster of Sydney Grammar School. Mrs. Valance. Mr. Stevens, Headmaster of Sydney Grammar School, Edgecliff Preparatory School, parents and boys. Many years ago, when my dad was young, he would see the grammar boys every day. And every day he wished that he was a grammar boy. He told himself that if he ever had sons, that they would be grammar boys. And here I am today. My dad's dream has become a reality for my brother and me. On the 28th of January 2004, 21 boys and I walked through the front gates of Sydney Grammar School, Edgecliff as transition boys. Since that day, we've been joined by boys in years 3 and 5. And yesterday, 1,255 school days later, 72 boys left through the front gates as year 6 boys. During our years at Edgecliff, we've been filmed, photographed, coached, entertained, beat tested, and extended. We have debated, experimented, sung, played musical instruments, run, danced, swum, played every possible sport, and learned Italian. We have met and worked with some amazing and talented people, such as Paul Jarman, Jeffrey McSkimmon, Lorraine Marwood, Jackie French, and Richard Tull, to name a few. We have been on camps to Jenolan Caves, Jamboree, Castle Mountain, Bathurst, Somerset, and Canberra. Many talented boys have also travelled interstate and overseas in musical and sporting groups and won local, state, and national prizes. We have been challenged and have worked really hard, but have always had a lot of fun. Edgecliff has provided us with so many incredible opportunities, and we are privileged to have been part of this environment. I'd like to thank Mr. Stevens and all the teachers and support staff. Without them, Edgecliff would be no more than just another building. Also many thanks to you, our parents. You have all been part of our journey, and your continued love and support has been greatly appreciated. To the younger boys returning to Edgecliff next year, I encourage all of you to enjoy learning and experience every moment of school life. Our school provides something for everyone, and it is up to you to find ways to contribute and be part of this amazing community. To my fellow classmates, whether you are continuing on to College Street next year or attending another school, I encourage you to make your future years at high school as exciting, rewarding, and memorable as they can be. Never stop learning. Finally, I'd like to farewell everyone here today. I hope you've had a great year. I certainly have. And I wish you all a safe, happy, and healthy holiday.
General Merriman 6G, Terry Agapitos. General Merriman 6G, Peter Stevens. General Merriman 6G, Sam Sidney. General Merriman 6S, Benjamin Aquilina. General Merriman 6S, William Zane. Physical Education Prize, William Mallet.
This afternoon. I also want to congratulate all of the boys of Edgecliff for having, I'm sure, a wonderful year in 2010, and I want to also wish all the very best to those who are finishing here, 6th class, and wish them all the very best in this wonderful place, those that are going on at College Street. A few months ago, I was talking to one of you, I won't mention the name for obvious reasons, one of the boys of Edgecliff, and I proudly said to him, I'm an old boy of Edgecliff. And he looked very quizzically at me and said, you're definitely old, but you're not a boy. Both of which I think were true. Having said that, I was a boy once, and indeed even the chairman of trustees was a boy, and indeed I even used to wear a uniform such as that which is worn by the Edgecliff boys today. But when I was a boy, there were no mobile phones, there were no iPods, iPads or anything like that. Indeed, there wasn't even the Eastern Suburbs Railway. Indeed, many, and I see Mr. Harwood in the audience, who was my headmaster at the time, I'm still scared of him. Most people would know that the second platform at Edgecliff Station was the 5th class schoolroom, something that's taken me a long time to work out. Because Edgecliff in those days was housed in a very old stone building. You'll know it's stone because if you go to Edgecliff today, there is the bell turret that is actually there. There's a lot more building than just that. This building was brilliantly designed. It was designed to teach us the seasons. In summer, it was hotter than any place in the Western world. And in the winter, it was totally freezing. The science block was basically a tap in the middle of the playground. And I can admit to Mr. Harwin now, after about 40 years, that we used to do diabolic experiments, which went something like you wet your shirt totally, and then you go into the hotter than hell room, which is your school room, and see how long it takes to dry. And by the way, if it didn't dry before I got home, I was somewhat wet for other reasons. The third thing about the school was that we didn't have an assembly hall. And we used to have wonderful assemblies with orchestras and wonderfully big choirs coming through a speaker in the classroom. It's taken me 40 years to try and work out how the then headmaster, Mr. Billing, was basically able to put an orchestra full size plus a big choir in his 9 metre by 2 metre room. Somehow he managed to do it. Today it's a different story, and I have to say of enormous pride to me to see Edgecliff as a fine set of buildings, to watch how the Assembly Hall has been redeveloped, and I thank the federal government for the monies they gave us to do it, to see the wonderful science laboratories and music rooms and drama rooms that are available to the boys. But at the time when I was a young boy at Edgecliff, there was a wonderful spirit which I believe still remains at Edgecliff today. A spirit which I think was embodied in those wonderful speeches we heard earlier from the boys. A love of learning, a love of being able to do more than just learn, to do music, to do sport, and above all, a lovely tolerance and love for other people. Every time I go to Edgecliff, I feel that same feeling, which is a credit to all the teachers and the boys who've passed through it over the period before me and since my time. I sincerely hope, ladies and gentlemen, boys, that one day, one, maybe two, or maybe even three of you boys will stand up here as an old boy and make a speech which goes something like this, that you went to Edgecliff well before it was common to travel to Mars for your Christmas holidays, well before the iNail, which is the iPod you can have in your name, but that the spirit that was there set you on a good course, and a spirit which continues even to that point. I wish you all a wonderful Christmas holiday. To those going on to main school, as I said, good luck in the future. To those who are going back to Edgecliff next year, enjoy the spirit, enjoy the buildings, and above all, enjoy being a young boy at Edgecliff.
Would everyone Thank you for attending Presentation Day. Would the audience please remain seated as Year 6 leaves the Alistair McCarris Theatre.